In this series of episodes, we're going to explore online marketing and how to use it to fill our facilities up. You know, the days of just showing up and turning the lights on and being 90% full, well, those days are over or soon to be over. Today, we're going to look at one of the most powerful marketing platforms that there is. We're going to lift up the hood and take a look under at the Facebook advertising platform. Hello, my name is Mark Helm, and I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. And what I do and what the Quick Start Academy is about is supporting the small investor and getting in this fantastic business of self-storage and supporting the small investor in the self-storage business so we can grow our business and create true wealth and a fulfilling career. And this is the best business on earth. And there is a lot of new space coming online. So the days of just not putting much thought into how you're going to market your facility, it's really time to ramp up your game. Now, we started this series of episodes on online marketing last week. If you did not watch last week's episode, I invite you to stop now, watch that, then pick this up from this point on, because much of what we're going to do is built on what we started last week. And last week, one of your assignments was to have a company page for your self-storage facility on Facebook if you didn't have one. If you had one, your assignment was to start a strategy for how to use that. But that's not what this is about. The other assignment you had was to create a Facebook ad account from your company, your self-storage company page. So I'm going to assume that you have done that. I'm going to also assume you've come up with some type of offer to incentivize people in your market to rent a self-storage facility from you. Now, that offer could vary across the board. It could be anywhere from 2 free months, half off for 6 months, to giving a lock or $10 off. It really just depends on your sub-market, how full your sub-market is, what your competition's doing. If you're in a market where everybody's 90% plus, you don't need much of an incentive, if any, to get customers into your facility. However, if you've got a 100,000 square foot REIT that just opened a facility down the street from you and they have just started leasing last week, believe me, they're going to be very aggressive. So you're going to have some type of offer that will interrupt the customer who normally would go there to come to your facility. So I'm going to assume you've put an offer together. Now, what I want to do here is lift the hood on the Facebook ad platform and begin to show you at a very preliminary, very simple level what an ad campaign looks like on Facebook. And then we'll talk about what it can do, and we'll talk about how to use the metrics to determine if you're being successful or not. So this Under the Hood at Facebook series will run 2 or 3 different episodes. And when you put them all together, my intention is for you to be able to have enough information to either A, run your first or very simple Facebook ads campaign, and 2, and probably most importantly, to be able to know what to listen for and what to look for when you're talking to somebody to take over your online marketing strategy for your self-storage facility. So let's go take a look at one of the most powerful platforms there is today for online marketing. Let's go look at Facebook. So when you open your Facebook, depending on how you've got it set up, you could end up at different places. But if you don't have a right-hand column here, what I would always do is hit Home. And what you want to be looking for is Ads Manager. So I'm assuming you have set your account up now. Now, I am not a Facebook advertising expert. In fact, I don't want to be an expert. What I want to do is know enough so that I will know an expert when I see them, and I can run some very basic ad campaigns on Facebook, see what's working and not working, so I can direct the experts that we do hire. And my intention is not to make you an expert either, because I can't, because I'm not, but it is to do the same for you. I know self-storage. I know what works in self-storage, and I am going to test different things to find out what works the best in self-storage. Then I can direct my vendors. So today, online traffic is where a large percentage of your customers are coming from or will come from. And my goal is that together we figure out this new world and we can direct our vendors or ourselves or our employees to be more effective in this new world, because it is this type of marketing as well as the data on the sub-markets that are really beginning to separate the larger players from the mom and pops. So if you want to stay relevant and compete effectively against the larger players in today's market, this is important. So let's go in and take a look at the advertising platform. Make sure that on the right-hand column you have the different sections of Facebook, and we're going to go into Ads Manager. This is how you get to the advertising platform. Now, I have a number of different accounts. I'm going to go to my self-storage account, or one of them. And I'm not going to go through the entire Ads Manager. There are videos on Facebook and other videos in YouTube and Lynda and places where you can really dive deep into it. And I'm not going to use Power Editor. Power Editor is actually a very good tool that I do use some, but for a very simple campaign, we're not going to use it. Explore that on your own. We're going to go into and create our own advertising campaign in the Ads Manager section. So you've clicked Ads Manager. Usually, if you haven't run an ad yet, this will be blank. These are some of the campaigns that I have going, but we're going to create a new campaign. So this is what it looks like when you begin to start a new campaign and begin to set a new ad setup. So in the structure of the Facebook platform, there are three components. You have the campaign level, the ad set level, and the ad level. As you're creating your Facebook advertising campaign, we move through all three levels of an ad set, of creating an ad before it goes live. And right now we're in the campaign level. And at the campaign level, this is the highest view of your ad campaign, and we keep funneling down till we get to the ad itself. Now, at this level, what you've got to do is choose what your objective is. And there's three basic areas where you could create an objective: awareness, which is brand consideration and reach. Then they have something called consideration, where you're running an ad to optimize for engagement or to run traffic to your Facebook page, or video views to a video. And then conversions are having people register or having people sign up or going and converting onto some other platform that you have set up. So if you're running an ad as a local business, which self-storage is, and let's say that your ad is a free month. I don't know what your ad is, but let's just say that your ad is a free month. One of the campaign objectives you may try is conversions. What you want to do is have somebody convert, in other words, register to get your free month coupon, or convert into a customer and rent a unit online. I've used reach a lot. I've used video views a lot. Let's just create one called conversions. So what you would do is you choose your objective. And again, we're going to choose conversions, and we're going to give it a name. And what I usually do is give it the name of what this campaign is trying to do. And let's say that your offer is first month free, so we could call this first month free conversions, because that's our objective. And I usually put some type of time. Let's call it Q1, quarter one, 2018. And then the last decision you've got to make is, what are you converting for? And I would say on these, we're converting for registrations, because I'm going to show you how to set up a registration page where they put their name and email in to get the discounted offer that you're offering them. So we're just going to call it registrations. And then you click continue. Now you'll notice on the left-hand side that we've moved from the campaign level into the ad set level. And this is where some of the magic begins to happen in the advertising, in the Facebook advertising platform. But since we chose conversion, it gets a little technical here. Just hang with me. Choose the website or the app you want to promote. So in other words, if you want to have somebody claim your free month off coupon, they're going to have to go somewhere to fill their name and their email address out, A, so that you have it, and B, so that you can send them their coupon. The website will go down a little bit further, but here's where you choose the conversion event. And we're going to call it, let's just say that one of our facilities is called Paramount, and we have a free month conversion that we've created. We'll talk more about that when we get into pixels. But that is the conversion event that we're going to create. For now, skip offers. And for now, skip using Facebook Messenger or apps. We're running a very simple campaign here. Let's get to audience. This is where some of the real power of Facebook lies. I could have my ads show up to different business types. Let's say that I wanted to advertise to the medical reps in our market. I could create an ad separate for them, and they would be the ones that would see it. I could go as deep as I could have single women age 41 through 53 who have 2 or more kids, and at least one of them is taking music lessons. I mean, I could drill down that deep, but we're not going to do that. As you know, and I know, most of our customers live within 3 to 5 miles of our facility. You could target your customers by zip code, or you could target your customers by a radius to an address. For a local business, and to keep it simple, I would recommend you use the address of your facility and then a radius. So if you think your customers are within let's say 5 mile, then make it 6 or 7, just a slightly larger than what you think it is. Or you could do it by zip codes. Usually what we find is 86 to 92% of our customers live within 3 to 5 miles, or within 2 to 3 zip codes is where most of our customers are. So that's where we will do most of our advertising. And the goal is to get as large an audience size over here as you can. Facebook does very well when the audience size is 1 million, 2 million, and more. Now, that's very hard for us to get in the self-storage business. So that's another reason why I do radius and not any kind of gender or interest. I'm really trying to maximize the size of the audience so that Facebook algorithm can do its thing. So what I would do is type in the address of the facility. So here's the address. and it's set up automatically defaulted to 10 miles. I want to scoot that down a little bit. I want it a little larger than 2. Let's see here. Let's make it 7. There we go. That's 530,000 people. That's pretty good. That's a good size. Then I look at the map. I know that's a pretty broad reach, and I'm actually going into some other facilities that I own. I'm looking at the 7 mile. I'm decided I'm going to cut it back to 6. Now let's look. 370,000. I want to make sure, if at all possible, I want to have at least 250, but let's run with this for now. If this doesn't work, one of the things I can do is change the size and test that and see which works better. So this is our audience. So in other words, everyone who has an IP address or an email address in Facebook within this radius can see my ad, and Facebook is informing me that that's a potential of up to 370,000 people. So for now, I would skip all of the other ways you can do it, particularly the detailed targeting. That's a lot of fun, but again, what we want to do is maximize our audience size, and as a local business, this is generally considered the best way to do it. You want to skip connections. And what I would do is save this audience and give it a name. Give it the name of your facility. That way you can, as you're duplicating and creating different ads to test, you don't have to recreate this audience each time. You just give it the name of your facility, and every time you see that name, you know that that is a local business with a 7 mile radius for that facility. Now, let's pause right here. I want to have a conversation with you. Let's pause here, and we'll continue next week in the Facebook Ads Manager and the ad platform. But I want to have a quick conversation with you about the mindset for this online marketing. And I'm doing it right here because if you've had your computer open and you've been doing your ad campaign in Facebook, you're beginning to sense and to realize that there is no best way to market your self-storage facility. There is no best advertising strategy on Facebook. There's no best way to market your facility online. Now, that can be good news or that can be bad news, depending on how you want to look at it. What's required is a mindset of testing. You are constantly testing and tweaking and changing and watching what you're doing to see what works, what doesn't work. And when you find something that begins to work, then you get rid of what hasn't worked as well. Scale up what's beginning to work a little bit, and then try something new next to that. You've got to be willing to try new and different things. You know, the best of the best in this online marketing space, I mean, they will tell you the majority of what they does not work. But what they do is they eliminate what doesn't work till they find something that does, and then they scale it. And here's the good news or bad news, again, depending on how you look at it. Really, what works now, it just happens to work now. That doesn't mean it's going to work 6 months from now. That doesn't mean it's going to work on another facility. That doesn't mean it's going to work on this facility once I get 10% more occupancy. But the good news is, I mean, you can test it and not spend much money. You know, $10 a day per ad set is not a lot of money to find out what's working and not working. Unlike the old days of putting an ad in Yellow Pages and you hope that was a good ad, and if it isn't, you got to wait a year and $35,000 to $50,000 later, change it. Not so with online marketing. Now, what we recommend, or what I was told, is once you place an ad and put something on Facebook and get it going and get it approved by Facebook, let it run for at least 72 hours before you make any decisions on changing it, removing it, or scaling it. Why? Well, because it takes about 72 hours for the Facebook algorithm to kick in and really know and be able to optimize the delivery of your ads. After about 72 hours, you'll begin to be able to trust the data that's coming back. And if it doesn't work, change it. Know what you're changing and be able to track and see how that change increased the performance. We'll talk more about that in the next episode or the episode after that. You know, for example, I ran some ads, video ads, separating our facility from the others in the sub-market, and I ran those as video views and got extremely good, for a local market, got extremely good results on that. A lot of the views all the way through. I mean, we probably had 10% of the sub-market watched the video from 75% on to 100%, and that's a lot in a local market. Then what I did was I ran an ad directly to the people who watch more than 25% of that video with an offer, and the objective was conversions, and did terrible. I think we had one. Then, instead of conversions, I changed the campaign objective to reach, and it wasn't out of the park, but it began to perform a lot better. Everything was the same. Ad was still the same, offer was still the same, but it was just the campaign objective that we changed and tweaked. And we're still tweaking and we're still trying new things. And the reach in one facility in our market did very well. And the other facility, the conversion objective did better. So you just never know. You're always testing. Well, what do you test? Well, to start off, I would keep it simple. I would have 2, maybe 3 different headlines, 2 or 3 different text, and a couple of different images. And if you're testing your headline, make sure that the text and the image are the same on all of them that you're testing. Otherwise, you won't know whether it was the headline or the image that made the difference. Be careful how you set it up, but always be testing something. And finally, as you're going through all of this, and I do this too, our attention is, we have our attention on our facility, we have our attention on our offer, what will it get to take people in here, but always remember to back up a little bit and look and think about your customer. Most of our customers are in transitions in their life. So design some text or a video or speaking points that will hit somebody in transition. What would somebody moving? What would somebody going through a divorce? What would somebody getting downsized or upsized? What would they want to hear from a self-storage owner? Think of the needs of the customer and design your conversations to meet those different needs. So have fun, keep testing, and I look forward to being with you next week as we continue looking at online marketing in today's world. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Storage World Analyzer. As soon as we're done with this video, I'm going on my computer, getting on the Storage World Analyzer, and printing off the final 10-year cash flow on the project we just closed on. That 10-year cash flow will be our budget numbers for years 1 through 5 as we add the value, then refinance. It's a fantastic tool. If you're not using it, really explore it. And especially if you consider yourself someone who's not real good with numbers or not real good with Excel, like me. And it has made a huge difference in our business. It's creating wealth through selfstorage.com, and then there's a tab called the Storage World Analyzer, or you can go directly to the storageworldanalyzer.com. I look forward to being with you next week as we continue our exploration into online marketing, and I'll see you then.